What is going on, everybody? I am back today to talk about a film that is relatively older, but a film that I've wanted to watch for quite some time now, and that is a film starring the late, great Robin Williams. And this is a film I've wanted to watch because it's out of the genre that you would normally know Robin Williams for. And there's some times that Robin Williams in his career took some really intense, dramatic performances. And this was one that I know is kind of talked about quite a bit. There's people that either really love it or don't really enjoy it all that much. But I love like true crime, psychological thrillers. And this is one that I've always wanted to watch, and I finally watched it because it's streaming on Hulu, and the movie I'm going to be discussing today is 1 Hour Photo. 1 Hour Photo is directed by Mark Romanek. Cy, the photo guy Parrish, has lovingly developed photos for the Yorkin family since their son was a baby. But as the Yorkins' lives become fuller, Cy's only seems lonelier until he eventually believes he's part of their family. When Uncle Cy's picture-perfect fantasy collides with an ugly dose of reality, what happens next has the spine-tingling elements of some of the best psychological thrillers. So I was really excited to see this movie because of Robin Williams playing a very different performance for what he was known for, and this movie was fantastic. I was really surprised by it. I thought Robin Williams obviously gave an incredible performance, and I'll get more into it in the review. So as the plot description states, we're introduced to Cy. He works at this grocery store photo booth counter where he develops photos. You can tell he takes the job incredibly seriously, almost to the point where like other people get involved and they think it's annoying how detail oriented he is. And he lives at home alone. He doesn't really have anyone else. He's definitely awkward and to himself. And there's this family that comes to get photos developed regularly, the Yorkins. And there's a father, a mother, and a son. And normally the mother and the son are the ones who come to get the photos developed. And you could tell early on he's taken sort of an obsession with their family to where he feels like he's a part of their lives, even though he's not. He goes as far as to like see books that the mother's buying to try to like get an in to have conversations with her. And as the movie builds, we just sort of see his obsession with the family grow more and more and more. The movie's success all hinges on Robin Williams' performance and how he plays into it. And I think he does an incredible job, because one of the things about this type of a character is obviously they're deranged. There's something wrong with them. And this film looks at it in the sense of like they're lonely, and so their psychological issues are enhanced because of their loneliness, to the point where their brain doesn't know when to shut off and say, hey, this isn't normal or this isn't right. And what I like is the slow sort of descent into madness, and how Cy's character just gets worse and worse and worse as the movie goes on, and as the situations for him getting closer to the family gets more and more difficult. And what I like about Robin Williams' performance in this film is that there are moments when he has interactions with characters that he comes across as an incredibly charming and likable individual. Although to himself, you'd talk to him and you'd be like, oh, this guy, he's just lonely and he just needs someone in his life. But then when you start to see the unhinged side of him and the terrible things that he does, it makes it hit harder in the third act of the movie, when you've been with this character for so long and can kind of see what they are capable of. I think all the actors that play the family members do a really great job, especially like early on in the film when it's just like, oh, he's just the photo guy. And then as things kind of build up progressively and the movie gets to that third act climax and the shift sort of happens, they play into it really well and they add to that overall punch. And I think, you know, in this day and age too, with internet culture, it's really interesting to see a movie. I think this was released in like 2002, sometime in the early 2000s, before the internet and anything became what it is now. And even so much that the film is looking at, you know, analog photography and someone working, actually processing real film. It's really interesting to watch like the levels that his character is willing to go to kind of stalk them, figure out things about their lives, try to get close to them. And in his mind, he doesn't think he's doing anything wrong. He just thinks that he's getting to a point where he can be close to these people and that he deserves this life. And some of it's kind of sad. You just see this person who's been completely thrown out and an outcast just because they're different and they don't come across as normal. And it's sad and it's disturbing and it's strange, and you really hurt for that family and what they're going through. And another thing I really enjoyed about this is some of the editing techniques. Really kind of adds to the suspense of the film. There's some really cool things with the film when Robin Williams is working with the film and how it's edited together that creates a really unique atmosphere. And this movie is just incredibly immersive. I feel like it jumps you right into the story and it just keeps you immersed from that very first frame. And I think if you go into this and watch it, you're gonna really enjoy Robin Williams' performance, but I think you'll get some twists and turns in this that'll keep you on the edge of your seat. And the third act I don't think is necessarily as strong as the first two acts of the film, but it gets the point across, and I think because of those strong performances, it definitely makes the film a worthwhile watch. So have you seen 1 Hour Photo? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was fantastic. I thought it was really well shot, really well directed, great performances. I'd 100% recommend checking this out on Hulu if you've never seen it. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.